Welcome to our channel. Today, we're diving into a topic that's crucial for every creative mind out there, balancing inspiration with originality. It's a bit of a tightrope walk, isn't it? We're constantly bombarded with incredible art, music, literature, all this amazing creative output that sparks something within us. It makes us want to make things too. But how do we draw from that well of inspiration without just straight up copying what we see? That's what we're going to unpack today. We'll be exploring 7 key strategies to help you walk that line, to fuel your creative fire without losing your own unique spark. Because ultimately, that's what matters. Making something that is authentically you. So let's start with the foundation, finding your unique voice. This is the core of who you are as a creative individual, the distinct perspective you bring to the table. Think about your own experiences, your values, your passions. What stories do you want to tell? What emotions do you want to evoke? Don't be afraid to be vulnerable, to let your quirks shine through. It's those imperfections, those unique edges that make your work truly stand out. Embrace the things that make you, you. That's where the magic happens. Remember, there's never been anyone exactly like you in the history of the world, with the same exact set of experiences and perspectives. That's pretty darn cool when you think about it, right? And it's something to celebrate in your creative work. Okay, so we've talked about finding your voice, but what about all those amazing creators out there who inspire you? How do you draw from their work without just becoming a carbon copy? Here's the key: focus on the feeling, the underlying message, the technique. Don't just replicate the surface level, dig deeper. What is it about that piece of art, that song, that book that resonates with you? Once you've identified that core element, ask yourself, how can I express that same feeling or idea in my own way? How can I use this technique to tell a different story, to explore a different perspective? It's like learning a new word. You don't just use it in the exact same sentence you first heard it in, right? You take that word, that building block of language, and you incorporate it into your own vocabulary, your own unique way of communicating. Now, some of you might be thinking, research? That doesn't sound very creative, but trust me on this one. Research isn't just about dry facts and figures. It's about fueling your imagination. The more dots you have to connect, the more creative and unexpected your ideas will be. So, read books, watch documentaries, listen to podcasts, explore topics that are completely unrelated to your field. You never know where a spark of inspiration might come from. Remember, creativity thrives on curiosity. All right, let's talk about experimentation. This is where the real fun begins. This is where you get to play, to get messy, to try things and fail gloriously. Don't be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone, to experiment with different mediums, different styles, different approaches. You might surprise yourself with what you discover. Think of it like baking a cake. The first few times you try a new recipe, it might not turn out exactly as planned. But each time you experiment, you learn something new. You adjust the ingredients, the baking time, the frosting technique, and eventually, you create something truly delicious and uniquely your own. The same principle applies to any creative endeavor. Embrace the process, embrace the mistakes, and most importantly, embrace the joy of experimentation. We've talked a lot about finding your own voice, but that doesn't mean you can't learn from others. In fact, seeking out mentors, teachers, and peers can be incredibly valuable. Those who came before you have paved the way, they've experimented, they've made mistakes, and they've learned from them. But here's the crucial distinction. Learning from others is not about imitation, it's about integration. It's about taking those lessons, those techniques, those insights, and weaving them into your own unique tapestry. It's about recognizing that you don't have to reinvent the wheel, but you can certainly customize it, paint it a different color, maybe even add some flames to the sides. In the midst of all the creating and experimenting, it's easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of it all. That's why self-reflection is so important. Take the time to step back and look at your work with a critical eye. What's working? What's not? What feels authentic to you? What feels derivative? Journaling can be a helpful tool for this. Write down your thoughts and feelings about your creative process. What inspires you? What challenges you? What brings you joy? Remember, self-awareness is key to growth. The more you understand your own creative process, your strengths, and your weaknesses, the better equipped you'll be to create work that is both meaningful and original. Okay, this one can be tough, but it's crucial feedback. It's easy to get precious about our work, to see it as an extension of ourselves. But remember, feedback isn't personal. It's a gift. It's an opportunity to see your work through someone else's eyes, to get a fresh perspective. Now, not all feedback is created equal. Seek out feedback from people you trust, people who understand your vision and want to see you succeed. And remember, you don't have to implement every single suggestion. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Use feedback as a tool to refine your work, to make it the best it can be. Because ultimately, creativity is not a solo sport. It's a collaborative process, a conversation between the creator and the world. Thanks for watching. If you found these tips helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content on creativity and personal growth. See you next time. Remember, the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. Don't be afraid to experiment, to make mistakes, to find your own unique voice. The world needs your creativity, your perspective, your story. So go out there and make something amazing.